Welcome back to the Pearl Report. The New Territories may seem like the ideal place to escape the noise and bustle of Hong Kong's urban areas, but you really need to do your homework before buying property on village land, most of which is owned by its indigenous people. Otherwise, your dream of an idyllic lifestyle can quickly turn into a nightmare.
The New Territories, with its tranquil lifestyles and rustic scenes, may be tempting. But buying property here? Think again.
Let's say buyers beware.
I saw this place, I just loved it. And I went to lunch. I came home and I was locked out.
The court has ruled against you. It's useless for you to pay more.
We've been looking around the area for probably 6 months. We sort of fell in love with it. The only step we have now that we can take is to go to a solicitor.
Whose girlfriend at Dr. Who, Matthew?
Julian and Mara Saunders bought this 3-storey village house with garden in 2004.
Billy Piper, yeah.
Oh! You're not supposed to answer it!
It was to be the perfect home for them and their 2 children, Matthew and Thomas.
We've been looking around the area for probably 6 months. One of the agents that showed us this property was completely derelict. No windows, no doors, just a concrete shell and an overgrown garden, and we could see the possibilities.
Julian paid $7 million for the 2,100 square foot house with its 3,300 square foot garden.
Some people say we paid too much for it, but we're happy with the amount we paid, and we spent another $1 million doing it up.
About a year ago, the owner of the plot of land bordering the front of Julian's property started to erect houses across the 2-metre footpath which leads to his home.
We saw these houses starting to be erected. We thought, well, we better go to government and just check what the width of this footpath is supposed to be. And that's when we got a nasty shock.
The Lands Department replied with this letter stating, the government cannot guarantee any right of way to the lot, and the licensee will accordingly have to make his own arrangements for acquiring such right of way.
The existing villages, a lot of the proposed small houses are surrounded by other private lots. So the thing is, the access to the lot is not guaranteed.
It takes the Lands Department a minimum of 170 days, that's almost 6 months, to approve the construction of a new village house. Access to it is not part of its criteria.
There is an existing footpath or right-of-way passing through this lot. Then we may require that you have to preserve this right-of-way. But then, for the access coming through the other private lots, we cannot do so. And that's why in our land grant conditions, we do not guarantee right-of-way. If you're considering buying a house, this could be a once-in-a-lifetime investment. I think people should not take it lightly. I think you have to go through a lot of checking.
You can go into the Lands Department to buy the lot index plan. From the lot index plan, you can find out whether it is a private land, whether there's any future houses can be built in the front, or any other assets that you need to sort out, whether it is some assets or some main road to the house.
Julian did do his homework before buying his property. He went to the Lands Department and found the plan pertaining to his lot.
It clearly shows that there's a footpath leading from the main village road to the gate for our property. And we understood that that was a proper 2-metre wide footpath that we would always have no matter what happened to that adjacent plot of land.
Wrong. The new buildings being erected are leaving Julian only half a metre wide government-built drain leading to his front entrance. And there's another problem. When Julian bought the house, he paid the neighbour of the land bordering his back gate $50,000 to build a driveway from his gate to the public road. Then he found out that a 1-metre wide strip of land between his driveway and the public road belongs to yet another landowner.
Unfortunately, the owners of a 1-metre wide strip of land there have prevented us from getting from this driveway to the road by putting this fence up. And they've said that we won't be able to get access. They won't allow us to take that fence down unless we pay them a significant sum of money.
How much?
$250,000.
Several property agents who do not want to be named have told TVB that Julian's situation is quite common among non-Indigenous New Territories property owners. For instance, the owner of this $13 million home had to abandon it after someone bought the garden and the steps leading up to it and then demanded millions of dollars for the use of that only access to the house.
If you are being denied of access to your house, I think if the blockage of this right of way is over private land, this is basically the pirate matter. I think he or she should seek the legal advice.
That's what Julian intends to do.
We can go to a solicitor and try and get a formal agreement drawn up, maybe with the existing landowner, but I can't see him agreeing to that. You spend all this money on a house and then government don't give you any guarantees. It just seems completely wrong.